Alright folks, welcome back to Mathland. Pushing on section 3-4 today real quick. You'll need to go ahead and check your even numbered exercises, please. And then if you got any questions, you need to ask somebody. Elijah claims that he is golden. Good for Eli. Therefore he has no questions to take us through. Sorry, did you pause your video and do that? Great. I'm moving up. There's the rest of them. Pause your video. Check it out. Moving on. Alright, Eli, you said you got nothing, huh?
Nothing.
Alright, cool. Pretty easy section. If you're comfortable with fractions, that's a good and helpful thing. Alright, today, section 3-4, these are considered to be multi-step equations. Solving multi-step equations and solving stuff like this. Alright, I'll just throw up the first example. Have a look. 5x minus 13 equals 37. Remember doing this stuff in pre-algebra, Eli? Solve for x,
yeah.
multiple steps. Okay. So there's two ways to kind of think about it. Remember what you're doing. First of all, you got to understand, what are we doing? Well, we're trying to solve for x. It's like we've been doing the last 2 days. What does x equal? Given this equation, okay, x represents some number. We're trying to find out what that number is. Well, the problem is unlike the last 2 days, there's two numbers over here, okay, and you got to get rid of both. And the trickiest part for most kids is just figuring out, well, in what order do I do that? Which one do you get rid of first? Does it even matter? Elijah, do you think it matters which order you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. If you'd like to work smarter, not harder, and the order really does matter. And it's kind of a reverse order of PEMDAS, okay? So when you solve these things, think the reverse order of PEMDAS, okay? So you'll actually do addition and subtraction type things first, all right? So you know in order to get rid of the subtraction of 13, you have to add 13, right? You'll need to do that first. So add 13. And then you can do your multiplications and divisions, reverse order, okay? So we'll divide both sides by 5 after we do our addition of 13. Reverse PEMDAS. Another way of thinking about it is like this. Let's think about heading out for a backpacking trip. Elijah, you ever been out in the woods, out hiking along with a good buddy? You and your good friend, we have a grand old time. And you got some crazy horsefly that keeps following you guys around, buzzing around. Do you even know what a horsefly is? Mm-hmm. You ever been bit by a horsefly?
No.
No. Let me tell you, it hurts. So horseflies always kind of buzzing around. They're hanging by. Sometimes they get close, but usually they're just kind of like gnats, horseflies, any sorts of insects. They're buzzing around. They're hovering. They're close. They're annoying. And you really want them to go away. But you and your best friend, you and your buddy, you guys are tight. This right here, that's you. That's mysterious you. Nobody really quite understands you. You're so mysterious. You're a variable. We don't even know who you really are. Nobody understands me. God knows who you are, but nobody else seems to get you. Right? That's you. And the guy that's closest, well, that's your best friend. He understands you the best. Okay? He's your best friend, the one that's closest to you. See, in terms of physical proximity, if I were to get out a ruler, okay, and measure from you to this number, okay, I would only measure a few millimeters. Versus from you to this number, I would measure many, many more millimeters, right? So just in terms of distance and proximity, this guy's closer. That's your best friend. Not this guy. That's the horsefly. We want to kill him right away. Okay? So get rid of that guy. The one that's kind of buzzing around, hanging out, get rid of him first. So how do I get rid of a subtraction 13?
Does that mean that you're going to get rid of your best friend?
No, we're not going to kill our best friend. We're going to kill that horsefly. Horsefly, swat, smack him, he's gone. All right. So we pull this thing down. And remember, Always draw these nice little neat lines, pull stuff straight down. That's 5x. Elijah, negative 13 plus 13 is 0. Should I write down plus 0?
No.
Why would you waste your time? It's 0, you know, if you add 0 to anything, you get back the same identical thing. That's the, what, additive identity property? Why are you going to waste your time?
Yeah.
Okay. And 37 plus 13, we're up to, what, 50? 50. So now it's just you and your best friend. This is good. Well, eventually, you know, you guys finish your backpacking trip and you got a partner, you each got to go home. Okay, so it's time to go home. 5's got to go home. Your buddy's got to go. How do we get rid of that? 5 times x. We'll do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. Divide both sides by 5. We're done. Okay? X is equal to 10. How can I know if I got that right? Plug it in, see if it works. 5 times 10 is 50. Hey man, what's 50 minus 13?
37.
Check. 37. Okay, so you can check them pretty easily. Sometimes. Some problems are a little more difficult, but that one's not difficult at all. Okay? Let's try another one. How about y over 12 minus 9 equals negative 11? We'll see if Eli can properly identify the horsefly. Elijah, which one's the horsefly?
9.
Elijah says the 9 is the horsefly. How do you propose, you're correct by the way, how do you propose that we kill that horsefly?
Add 9.
Good job. Opposite of subtraction is addition. We're going to add 9 to both sides. Okay, so that gives us a y over 12. That goes to 0. Don't bother to write it again. 9 and a negative 11. You got 9, you owe me 11.
You owe me 2.
You mean negative 2. There you go.
Well, that's why I said it. You owe me 2.
Okay, and finally?
And then you...
Opposite of division is multiplication. Good job.
Negative 2 times 12.
Alright, so
Negative 24.
notice how I show my work. I like to see my students do the same. If you can get the good habits of showing this work like I'm doing, it's going to be much better for you, much easier for you down the road. Okay? Alright, can I show you just one more? And then I want you to try some with me right here in class. Alright. Example 3, before you do a little independent practice under my supervision.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Well. Oh, boy. We got multiple horseflies. Thoughts on that guy? Oh, man. There's like multiple horseflies. Tell me this. Who's your best friend?
2.
2. The one that's closest to you, that's your best friend. Okay? So save him for last. Get rid of these 2 guys first. Alright? So, think of it like this. Fractions. For most kids, fractions just make kids want to cry. They just can't seem to deal with it for some reason. So, you got to ask yourself, if you could make a fraction go away, wouldn't you do it? I mean, right away, if you could just make that disappear, yeah, let's do that. So, this fraction exists because we have the division by negative 3. How can you undo division?
Multiplication.
Okay, so that's all we're going to do. We're going to make this fraction disappear, and we're going to multiply both sides by negative 3. That is a totally legitimate move. What you do to one side, you do to the other. And now, hey, guess what? There's no fraction left anymore. It's just 2r plus 8 equals 6. Right? Horsefly?
8.
Kill him! Do the opposite. Alright, so now we have 2r equals 6 minus 8, we're negative 2. Okay, divide both sides by 2. R is equal to negative 1. Okay? Questions or concerns? Seem pretty simple? Cool.
The answer is negative 4.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand my notebook over to Elijah, and we're going to see how pretty of a job he can do. The problems that we're going to be doing come from the book on page 145. So, if you'd like to follow along, I would like everybody that's actually in this class as well to do the same. Okay, you should also try. We're going to be pausing and stopping the video while Eli does the work. You should pause and stop the video so you can do the work. Alright, from page 145, everybody go ahead and do number 7. Okay, That problem is 4g minus 2 equals negative. Sorry, equals negative 6. All right, go ahead and solve that for g. Pause your video now, and we'll come back in just a second to look at Eli's work. All right, folks, here's Elijah's work. He claims the answer is negative 1. I'm going to check. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. Folks, he did awesome. Perfect. The only thing I might have added to what he wrote, cancel the 4's. Otherwise, he drew this line just like I like to see. All right, his work is beautiful. Well, okay, it might be a little sloppy, but looks like he wrote over it again. Let's go ahead and try a tougher one. Let's try number 9. Everybody, please try number 9. Elijah will work it here on our paper. You please go ahead and pause your video. You work it. Elijah's going to work it. We'll come back and revisit. Go. Okay, welcome back. Elijah came up with a mixed number. I'm never a fan of mixed numbers. I'm not even going to consider it. Prior to going to the mixed number, he had 38 thirds. Let's check it. 3 halves times 38 thirds. I'm going to need to work that off to the side. 38 thirds. 2 goes in 38, 19 times. So it's going to give me 19. 19 minus 8. 19, take away 8 is 11. He must have got it right. 38 thirds. Good job, Eli Stroot. All right, got rid of his horsefly. All right, 3 halves that equals 19. The only thing I don't like is this. Of his work, I don't see why in the world you would divide both sides by a fraction. Work smarter, not harder. That's what Uncle Joel taught me. Work smarter, not harder. Come on, Nate. So instead of dividing by 3 halves, why not just multiply by the reciprocal? A beautiful little trick, going to save you a little time. So if you've done that, boom, this stuff cancels, right? And then 19 times 2 thirds, it's the same thing you have right here, okay? It's just you had to write it again. You had to do all of this additional writing. And I would have just wrote this and went straight from here to here, and I would have been done. You wrote this is extra, and this is extra. Okay? So you got more than I would have put. Okay? So don't divide both sides by fractions. Just multiply by the reciprocal. Make sense? Good job on getting the correct answer, though. I like that. Let's try number 10. 10 looks like a Jim Dandy. Oh, man. Here we go. I'll write it down. Looks like a b plus 4. All of that divided by a negative 2 equals negative 17. All right, folks, see what you can do with that. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. Elijah just panicked when I sent him to do that problem. I said, relax, it's okay. It's just like example 3 from the notes we did a moment ago. Take a look at it. It's cool. Same thing. I promise. Go get it. Okay, Eli came up with an answer of 30. Let's check it. Back to the original. 30 plus 4 is 34. Divided by negative 2 is negative 17. Yay! You did it again! Good job, Eli. Well done. First things first, your biggest, nastiest horsefly was down here. You actually had a couple of them. Okay? 2 horseflies. So we multiplied by negative 2. That eliminates the fraction. And now we don't have fractions in our problem. Okay? Came over here, 34. Just had a b plus 4 equals 34. Subtracts 4. Piece of cake. Was it easy? Mm-hmm. Totally easy. All right. How about number 11? Could I dare expect that a child could do a problem like number 11 without a calculator? There's dirty decimals. I think you actually could. Okay, I think you could. Let's see what you can do. Okay. If it gets to be too much and we have to grab for a calculator, so be it. If we were to do number 12, if you look at 12, it's got a couple decimal places. I understand, we want to be reasonable. Okay? Certainly, it's actually to be, don't want you to scratch things out and take forever, but You know, if you can use your brain, go ahead, exercise your brain. That's kind of what we're doing. It's schooling, you know, getting an education. Supposed to be making your brain stronger, okay, not weaker. All right, see what you can do with that one. Go get them. Okay, we're back. Elijah says n equals 28. Can I check that one? Probably. You want 2/10 of 28? I'm gonna figure out 1/10 first. 1/10 would be 2.8, so 2/10. I'm gonna say 2.8. I need to double that. That'd be what? 5.6. 5.6 plus 3 is 8.6. You got it right! Yeah, man! Way to go! Way to go. Alright, so subtracts 3. Only thing I saw him do is this out here. And I just, you know, my 2 cents is I would have done this. And then over here, instead of doing the division in this kind of long format, just as a simple little trick, Eli, and audience, is just slide that decimal right away. And he's doing 56 divided by 2. I mean, you know half of 50, right? When you do 56 divided by 2, it's kind of the same thing as this. Think of it like this, 56 divided by 2. And half of 50 is what?
25.
Oh yeah. And half of 6?
Is 3.
Yeah, 28, you know? So I wouldn't have busted things out to actually try to work them out the long and hard way. I just do it real simple, like using my brain, okay? Essentially just multiplied top and bottom by 10, shifting the decimal. You did the same thing. You also shifted the decimal, right? I just used my brain. Okay. One last one, it's where they talk about consecutive integers. First of all, what are consecutive integers? Consecutive integers. Do you know? Ever heard of those? Have you ever heard of an integer? I sure hope so. I've taught it. Elijah? Any thoughts?
Is a whole number and for a natural number or a negative number.
Consecutive. Well, fraction, decimal. Would it be a decimal?
No.
No. The integers, remember the set of integers is just -3, it's dot, 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 -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay? And this list, these are all consecutive integers. 3, 4, 5. Those are consecutive integers. 12, 13, 14. That is 3 consecutive integers. That makes sense? Number 14, they said find 3 consecutive integers, kind of like these, whose sum is 42. What? What? How do I do that? Hey, don't freak out. It's very easy. They have, if you want to look at an example in the book, you can look at example 6. It's example 6 on page 144. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Number 14. 3 consecutive integers whose sum is 42. So what you do is you just select a variable to represent your first integer.
Plus 21.
No, stop. Give me a letter that I can use to represent the first of these 3 integers. Go ahead. Equals the first integer. I just need a letter, honey. Pick your favorite letter.
X.
X is going to be our first integer. All right, now we need one for the second integer. But it should be related to this one. Wait a second, are you saying there's a relationship between 2 consecutive integers? I'm saying yes, there is a relationship between this number and this number. Those are 2 consecutive. There is a relationship between this number and this number. You should not use the letter y. You should use some expression that's related to x. What's the relationship between 2 and 3? Well, it's the same relationship that is between -2 and -1. Same relationship there is between 13 and 14. Those are 2 consecutive integers. These are 2 consecutive integers. How are these 2 consecutive integers, Eli? How are they always related? There's always a connection between, see all of these I put little U's under, connecting them. There's a relationship between them. What's the relationship?
It's 1.
It's
Plus
1.
1.
It's just plus 1. You just got to add 1, right? Henry has to go potty, everybody. All right. If you gotta go potty, stop. So go right away. So if the first one is x, then the second one should be what? What did you say?
x plus 2.
Really?
X plus 1.
So to get from here to here, I have to add 2.
X plus 1.
Yeah, that's right. What do you think the third integer is going to be?
X plus 2.
There you go. That's some pretty good thinking. Way to go, Eli. You smart boy, man. Smart boy. All right, so now, on number 14, they said these 3 consecutive integers have a sum of 42. So we're going to add all of these up, okay? And the sum is 42. So add them up. X plus...
Please wipe my butt.
Be right there, honey. Plus x plus 2. Add them up, and their sum is 42. Is that pretty easy? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Can you do any simplification? Can you add anything here? A xylophone. Another xylophone. Another xylophone! How many xylophones?
3 xylophones.
I got 3 xylophones! Okay. Hey, look. $1. Hey, I found 2 more dollars.
$3.
I got $3! And then can we solve that? Of course. Bye-bye, horsefly! Whee! Ah, feels so good to kill a horsefly. 39. So 3x equals 39. And now, so long, best friend. It's been a great trip on the Appalachian Trail. It's too bad we had to go home. 3's cancel. X is equal to 13. Okay? But wait a second. They said to find 3 consecutive integers. You didn't find 3 consecutive integers. You just found 1. If the first x is 13, right? You found the first integer. If the first integer is 13, 14, bingo. There they are. We just found it. Okay? That completes everything that I want to talk to you about today. Oh, wait. 3 consecutive. What if, let me just throw one more thing. What if they said we got 3 consecutive even integers? So what are consecutive even integers? Just real quick, this is just a side note, just in case you cross. Yeah, so they're even numbers, right?
12,
so,
14, 16.
All right, so like 12, 14, 16. That would be 3 consecutive even integers, or 24, 26, and 28, right? So if we had a sum of negative 30, sum equals negative 30, how would that go? Well, the first even integer, we'll use n this time. What would the second one have to be? If the first one's n, what would the second one be?
N plus 2.
There you go. Okay? And the third one would be n plus
4.
Okay? So you just add all these up and set it equal to, I think I was trying to say negative 30. Okay? Add them all up, set it equal to negative 30, and solve. Okay? That was it. If everyone will open their books to page 140, I am going to show you something right quick. You're going to take a quiz tomorrow. Look at practice quiz 1 on page 140. Practice quiz 1, page 140. How would I like you to look there? Particularly, would you make a note of like number 1, 5, 6, 7, 10. I'll leave that right there. I am going to force Eli to very briefly read through that with his eyeballs. We're going to take a quiz tomorrow, a big nasty quiz. If when you look through those, you have no hiccups, no like, oh me, then you'll probably be okay for a quiz tomorrow. But if there's any of those, 1, 5, 6, 7, or 10, where you're like, oh, I don't know about, well, I'd like to talk about them with you right now. Okay.
Number 1.
Oh, my Henry, number 1, I could never do that. Okay, the directions say the surface area S of a sphere equals 4 times pi times the square of the radius r. Number 1, write the I can't write a formula. It's too hard. So number 1, the surface area S if you're looking on page 140, folks, okay? Page 140. It says S is the surface area. Surface area S of a sphere. So S equals, that's where you write one of these guys, right here. S equals what? 4 times, I know how to write the number 4. I don't know how to write times though. And actually you don't write times, you just put the pi. Because when you write pi, that means 4 times pi. 4 times pi times what? The square of the radius r. So now what do I write, Eli? The square of the radius r. 4 times pi times the square of the radius.
R squared.
Man, I thought you said that was hard.
I didn't see the thing about it.
How about 5, 6, 7, or 10?
Oh, those are just the so easy.
You okay with 5, 6, 7, and 10?
Yeah.
Elijah says he's good. Great. Glad to hear it. Again, we are going to take a nice, nasty little quiz. The best I can hit you with. Tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow. You're only a day away. Oh, tomorrow. You need to do all this homework by tomorrow. You're only a day away. Go ahead. If you would, please. Section 3-4, page 146. Just a bunch of odds. No evens tonight, just odds. So, get all that checked. We'll talk about things you missed. Tomorrow, we're actually going to pause and take an extra day on section 3-4 because this section is so important. Make sure you got it right before we move on. Okay? That's why we're going to take a quiz. We got a little extra time. Be a short day, just a quiz, and a little more extra practice. Okay? Questions or concerns? Just wants to bellyache and moan.
No.
Pretty standard. Par for the course. I want a girl in the fetal position, suck my thumb, and cry for my mommy. Oh, brother. Hestovia! All right, folks. Be safe. What else is there? We'll see you tomorrow.